Yo, guys, in fact, I'm really pissed off. I'm really angry. Now, quite recently, if you could remember, in Guangzhou, right? Videos were going around, circulating on social media that blacks were being maltreated. As usual, they come out to say that it wasn't true. All right, fine. It is their own country, China, so no problem. Now, this video that you're about to watch is actually happened in our own backyard, Africa, Zambia to be precise. All right, a black guy and with his Chinese wife went to a Chinese shop to get something, and then this black guy was turned away because he's black. And you know what annoys me? The Chinese lady told the black guy that foreigners cannot enter, and the black guy was confused. At first, he thought she was referring to his Chinese wife, who was a Chinese. Yeah, a Chinese. And then the wife explained to him that no, she's actually referring to you. That a foreigner cannot enter Chinese shop or Chinese restaurant. How can I be a foreigner in my own country? How? How can I be a foreigner in my own country? I mean, I don't even understand this. Okay, this stupidity has to stop. All right, just watch the video, all right? And then I will commend you if you are able to hold your temper and not get angry, because this is, I mean, if it's happening in China, fine. But in our own country, in our own continent, in Africa, how can Africans be foreigners in Africa? How? Guys, just tell me how. In fact, I'm pissed off. All right? Well, as usual, may God bless you. May God bless me. May God bless Africa.
Imagine being called a foreigner in your own country by a foreigner. Well, that's the predicament of a male Zambian national who has chosen to remain anonymous. The man was on Saturday turned away from a Chinese restaurant and shop called Lankins in Lusaka's Long Acres for being black and a foreigner in his own country. The man was in the company of his Chinese wife and now explains.
These two other guys were in front of us. They went in, these Chinese nationals, they went in. So when my wife and I were going in, there was this lady behind the counter. She was shouting something, she was yelling something. So for me, I just looked at her, but then I couldn't understand. So I walked in again, then she repeated the same phrase. So at this time I looked at my wife because she was looking in my direction. So I looked at my wife had stopped moving. So I asked her, what is she saying? So the lady said, foreigners are not allowed in this shop. So I thought to myself, in my mind I was like, oh, how does she know my wife is, not from Zambia? Then my wife said, oh, she means you are not allowed in the shop. That's when I was confused. Foreigner? I am the foreigner in this situation. So she said, then my wife asked the lady, what do you mean? She said, oh no, the Chinese can come inside. You have to wait outside. You can't come inside.
The wife of the Zambian national has described the actions taken by the Chinese nationals against her husband as ridiculous.
I don't think Chinese, racism is everywhere. But then, in this situation, it's just a little bit unusual, How can you ask, how do I put it? How can you say that foreigner cannot come in when they are in a foreign country? It's ridiculous. They are not supposed to behave like that.
I asked the couple to accompany me to the said restaurant and shop so that I can independently verify the allegations leveled against the Chinese business firm. In the shop, there was only one female Chinese national at the counter and busy on her phone. We proceeded in the shop, and when going out I asked the Chinese lady, with the help of the Zambian national's wife for translation, if I could see the owners of the shop so that I can find out about the allegations leveled against them, but the lady outrightly refused. When she refused, I asked her whether it's true or not that they turn away blacks in their shop. In her response, the Chinese national explained that this decision has been arrived at in view of the coronavirus, but denied turning away any black person. a contradiction.
中国人的司机，然后就是中国人在里面跟人家买东西，然后就是这样老黑过来带着车来 ，OK， 就这样。
Okay, so basically she said that normally they allow the Zambians, they will come here, normally they are like the driver of the Chinese national. So the Chinese national will come and buy stuff, the Zambian driver will be waiting outside, then they will be like carrying the stock from here to the car, not to go inside. But if you say those who are like, they insist to go in, they will still allow.
So the Zambian drivers, the black ones, they wait from here.
Yes.
Then the Chinese,
they
go inside, they buy, then they get the stuff from here. So when you came here, they thought he's also a driver for you. Is that what they thought?
But the one yesterday is not this one.
Simply put, the Chinese are saying blacks transmit the coronavirus. How painful can that be? That's simply an insult. Well, let's assume that what this lady is saying is true, that they don't discriminate against the blacks. Their actions speak to the contrary. For example, everything here is written in Chinese except for phone numbers and names of Zambia and China. This is happening in Zambia. What about if it is China itself?
I traveled to Gwangju some time back, maybe some 8-9 years ago, and on arrival at Gwangju airport,